everyone, how are we today? Just doing a quick all signs reading today. We're going to just do a bit of a weekly check-in. We are going to focus a little bit more this week on, what you can use to strengthen yourself, empower yourself at the moment. All right, so that's kind of our focus, but it is just a general sort of weekly check-in message. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I do really appreciate that support. It really does help the channel grow and keep on glowing, of course. Now, like I said, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know if there's any suggestions for any upcoming topics that you would like to see on the channel. This week I am using the lenormand. Back to basics this week. Like I said, super quick check-in, focusing on your strength, what you can use to strengthen and empower you. I wanted to do that this week using Lenormand alone. All right, so we are going to start off with Aries. Timestamps in the description as always. Just getting that ready. Okay, so Aries, we're going to start with Aries. Okay, Aries, checking in for Aries. What's going on for Aries this week? What messages to help strengthen and empower Aries this week, please? Strengthen and empower our Aries this week. Firstly, we have the snake coming through for you, Aries. So strength coming through in the form of your passions, your desires, following temptation a little bit, especially if it's, temptation to follow out on a desire, to be very strong this week in breaking any disillusionments or illusions that you've been placing upon yourself. There's a lot of strength for you in that, sort of breaking through the coldness of oneself and finding alternate ways around things. Be like a snake that sort of slithers and creeps. It doesn't face things necessarily, head on and confronting and things getting out of hand. Sometimes if it hits a roadblock, it finds another way around that. It does what it needs to do to sort of find its way around that. So embracing that snake energy, embracing the physical desires that are sort of taking you over. So if you are feeling very physically magnetized or drawn to something this week, definitely following that temptation a little bit as well. We do have the bear coming through for you, Aries. So we do see you standing very tall and strong in your own self-confidence. A lot of strength for you this week, just in general, and that you can use your strength to empower your confidence and to empower you to make sure that you do have a nice firm boundary system around yourself. Be careful not to shift into defensiveness of oneself this week, Aries. But, we do see a lot of power and strength just backing you up in general this week. So there's a lot of, a lot of business kind of energy this week as well with that bear, that you can sort of stand tall and firm and know that you're making the right decisions, and that you're able to, say no when you need to say no and say yes when you need to say yes. This is leading you to a lot of new opportunities this week, Aries. We have the key coming through for you, opening up to others in a more, whatever way that you haven't been opening up in the past, you are able to use that to your strength this week to open yourself up a little bit more to others around you, open yourself up to all the opportunities that are around for you as well, and starting to sort of walk through those doors rather than just ignoring them, finding those opportunities, unlocking those opportunities for yourself and walking on through those doors. All right, making the most of that so that you can get to the success on the other side. All right, make sure you do follow the channel, and we will move on over to our Taurus. Taurus, what's going on for Taurus this week? What does Taurus need to know this week in order to strengthen and empower themselves? Taurus, strengthening and empowering your energy. The message for you this week, Taurus. Ooh, Ooh, Taurus, I love this energy for you. Firstly, we have the key coming through strong. So there is a lot of new opportunities around you this week. It's having the courage to, face those new doors that are opening for you at the moment, and to, not only see those opportunities that are being created for you, but to have the courage to walk through those doors and take a bit of a chance on yourself, because you don't know what's on the other side of those opportunities. But I can tell you right now, they're all your wishes coming true here, Taurus. We have the stars there for you as well. So, the success on the other side of these doorways that are opening for you at the moment is wish fulfillment. Your dreams coming true, a reason for hope and optimism this week. A lot of successful, wish fulfillment coming in for you very, very soon. And so being able to really pay attention and take advantage of every single opportunity that's been given to you this week is really going to strengthen that for you. We also have the cross here, Taurus. So, this is enabling the things that you've been holding as burdens, as responsibilities, enabling yourself to, not stress about those too much this week, and just have faith that, my wishes are about to come true, and that there is successful opportunities available to me, and having faith in that path will enable that, and keep you protected while you're on that path. A lot of spiritual fulfillment for you this week as well. A lot of power for you from the more spiritual aspects of yourself. So making sure you are following up on any intuitive sort of guidance you're receiving this week. Definitely a strength for you in all of that. All right, but make sure you do subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and we will move on over to our Geminis. Okay, Gemini, what is going on for our Geminis this week? What's strengthening and empowering our Geminis this week? Gemini. Quite interesting here. The first card we have for you is the mice. Okay, so this is finding strength in the things that have actually been taken from you, the things that sort of keep you up late at night and sort of eat away at your energy and sort of niggle away in the back of your brain. You're actually finding a lot of strength, looking back into the past at all those things that have been sort of lost to you or taken from you. I feel like it's kind of this energy of power and strength in not allowing those things to occur again. That you're seeing the things that have been taken from you in the past, and you're kind of very resolute about, I've lost XYZ in the past. I'm never going to allow myself to lose that opportunity again if I'm given that again, so you're looking to the past to sort of learn, I feel, this week, Gemini. So a lot of strength for you in, the things that have stressed you out a lot in the past, and then, the things that you've lost and things that have been taken from you, kept you awake late at night worrying about them. You're kind of looking back at those things with a bit of a different perspective, and more of that perspective of, well, what can I learn from that, and avoiding yourself feeling that same way about other things again in the future. We do have the lilies coming through next for you. So the lilies is a very long-term card. So for some of you, these are things that have happened a long time ago, but for most of you here, it's about empowering yourself to be a little bit more emotionally vulnerable with yourself about these things that you're looking at from the past, specifically to enable your future, because the lilies being such a long-term card, it's like, well, if that stressed me out so much back then, I don't want it to stress me out, 10 years from now. I don't want it to be one of them things that pops back up and still stresses me out in the future. So you're really using the past to guide you, and find the learning and the wisdom from the past to guide you for, the long-term future of the things that I want in my life or don't want in my life, 10, 20, 30 years from now. So a lot of strength and empowerment for you just in that, in itself, in this reflective energy, and learning those lessons that need to be learned, because, we see the anchor coming through as well. So it's you're finding this, anchoring yourself through everything that you've been through. You're kind of saying to yourself, well, you know what, if I've been through this in the past, I know I can get through anything that comes my way. I'm quite solid and steady, and I can depend on I'm hearing that song. Things can only get better, and that's exactly what your energy is kind of showing me, that if I learn from this past stuff and I refuse to allow that to pop back up into my future, then I know I can depend on that never being a problem for me again. I'm secure and reliable enough to have learnt that lesson, and even if it was the hard way. I do feel for some of you, these lessons in the past were the hard way, and you're like, that's it. I'm going to allow those lessons to anchor me into the future, so I know that I can remain steady calm in the face of any storm that comes my way in the future. So it's kind of a very empowering message for you there to be able to do that. Not many people can do that in a positive way, where you are sort of using the past to spur your future onwards, but you're doing it in a really nice way this week, Gemini. So even if sometimes those things that pop up do still hurt a little bit, do still stress you out a little bit, but it's about the lessons and the perspective of learning from the past that you're really taking on board this week. So I really enjoy that for you, Gemini, and it is going to prop you up well in the future to be vulnerable with your emotional self. It is going to, and showing yourself kindness and things like that as well. So it's really propping you up for a much better future than what you may have seen in the past, which is, what we all strive for, right? So that's what we've got for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Make sure you subscribe, and we will move on to our Cancer. Okay, Cancer. Cancer, what's going on for Cancer this week? Messages for Cancer this week. What does Cancer need to know to strengthen and empower them this week? Strengthen and empower our Cancer for this week, please. Cancer, what is going on this week? You are having a really great week from the looks of this. Even if you feel like you're not in your energy, we do see a lot of really positive changes occurring for you here, Cancer. We have the heart coming through first. So, love, unconditional love. That's like that eternal love, that unconditional love. So even if that's not romantic love, it's that sort of love that is being shown to you and given to you, regardless of what's going on in the real world. There's love remains after it all. We do have the sun coming through, so the sun is definitely shining down on you this week. We see love, we see happiness coming through for you this week, Cancer. It's for some of you, there may be some personal epiphanies specifically in relation to love and your love life. I feel you may be seeing some epiphanies coming through for you this week, some things coming to the surface, coming out into the light in regard to what makes you happy in love, so that you can sort of chase the sun, follow the happiness, follow your heart this week. We do see the stork coming through as well. So definitely some new ideas coming through to you this week in regard to what love and happiness are for you. And that's really sort of spurring you on into some brand new energy. I do feel a lot of changes associated with this for you as well, Cancer. So it's kind of like new perspectives, new ideas on what love could be or should be for you, what happiness could or should be for you. Things coming to the light in order to sort of really clarify things for you and really make everything very, very clear to you about what is the idea I have of love, and is that the right way to be looking at this, or do I need to stir up some new sorts of ideas and perspectives here, and in order to move forward in love and really stir the pot a little bit for myself, and to get the most out of the love and the happiness that I'm wanting here. So definitely seeing some really good energy for you there. I am getting that phrase stirring the pot a little bit, but I feel like it's all connected to love and happiness. So it's kind of like stirring the pot just to remind somebody else around you of how much love and happiness is available to them, and that's why you're sort of stirring the pot a little bit. So I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I'm sure you will know when you do go through that energy. But that's what we have for you today, Cancer. Being strengthened by love and happiness. You can't kind of go wrong with that. Love that for you. But that's what we have. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll move on to our Leos. Okay, Leo. What's going on for Leo this week? What does Leo need to know? What's going to strengthen and empower our Leos this week? Movement. We have the ship coming through first here, Leo. So for some of you, this is quite literal for a couple of you. Okay, so if you do live near water where there is like a boat area or like harbor kind of thing, I really would suggest actually, getting out in the sun and going to that place, where you can sort of watch the boats coming and going. And I don't know, there's just something about that this week that it's really going to really fill your energy right up to the tippy top this week. Something about standing out in the sun, watching the boats going to and fro, really, really coming through strong here for you, Leo. For some of you, you're going out on like a fishing trip or something like that. But it's very much like, out in the middle of the day kind of energy, out enjoying the sunshine. Definitely those sorts of vibes. We do have your card here as well, the sun. But for some of you, it's more general, just like just traveling, closing the distance between yourself and happiness, the things that make you happy, the things that make you feel happy, bringing those things to light, and allowing them, even if they're deep down inside of you, bringing them up into the light at the moment to and travel. I do feel for some of you this is definitely things like organizing holidays, setting up holiday plans and things like that. Actual travel seems to be coming to the forefront here, as well as that very literal going and watching the boats. So I don't know what that's about specifically. It may be like a boat race, but I'm also seeing very casual, like just watching the boats and just watching the way that they're floating on the water, and just observing kind of that ship energy, bringing out the most of yourself and the happiness for yourself, the sitting down and even just doing just zoning off, watching the boats on the water seems to be really useful to you in a sense of connecting with yourself this week and filling your energy reserves. Okay, we do see a lot of happiness for you this week as well. So use that happiness to sort of strengthen you and keep you going through the rest of the life. Life happens, as they say. So really make some memories this week that you will have to hold on to when times do get a bit rougher. Also coming to light this week, we do see this mice energy for you. So there may be some epiphanies about the way things have happened in the past, about losses that you've suffered, like specifically. So for some of you, you're realizing though that the distance that you've put between yourself and that thing that has happened. I do feel like for a lot of you, it's that thing that has happened in the past that left you feeling like something was taken from you, or you lost something. For some of you, it's something that you never even had as well, which is it's bringing to light for me personally. It brings to light things like like sometimes I crave a relationship with my mother, and then I'm like, well, that's kind of weird because I've never really had that the way that I see that, if I'm watching a TV program and there's a very super affectionate mother and daughter, and I get that craving of like, oh, I want that with my mum. And then I kind of realize, hang on, but like I've never really had that. So why am I craving something that I've never really had? I do feel like that it's something along those lines for some of you coming to light this week as well. But it's more so the fact that you've actually created a lot more distance within your own self from that than what you realize. You have grown and healed a lot more than you give yourself credit for when it comes to that thing. Okay, Leo, so stop stressing so much about the past. It's time to focus on, that the happiness. There's actually more distance from that stressor than you actually have given yourself credit for. So I feel like this week it's sort of coming to light that, yeah, that is actually, that doesn't actually stress me out the way that it may have in the past. All right, so that's what we have for you today, Leo. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will, move on over to our Virgos. Okay. So moving over to Virgo. What does Virgo need to know right now? What is going on for our Virgos this week? Strengthening and empowering our Virgo energy. Whoa, okay, that one. Virgo, strengthen and empower our Virgo energy this week, please. I love that was the one that sort of came out really quickly here. We do have the scythe. It did sort of flip out on its own completely here, which does not surprise me with that card as well, because it's kind of, it's the card of something happening all of a sudden. So something sort of flipped out of nowhere. And I feel like what it's actually, it's kind of telling me relatively specifically here. It's got to do with this mountain energy. So the mountain is a blockage or an obstacle, some sort of delay that you have been kind of stuck in. You've been trying to get over this obstacle, trying to get through this blockage, and then bang, all of a sudden you realize that you're making really good progress on that. I feel like for a lot of you, it's you're so close. You're a lot closer than you realize, and it's kind of because that scythe gives the energy of like you've been taking it step by step by step, and you're only like sort of halfway up this mountain, and then all of a sudden that scythe hits and bang, you find yourself right up here at the tippy top, almost over and done with kind of thing. And then once you get to the top, you can see your way clear and you know exactly where to go from here. And so it's coming through here with the rider, and the rider does usually come through here in the form of, good news is on the way. So I feel like that's kind of what's happening here, is there's good news about this obstacle. You've been sort of slogging it out to get through this obstacle, and good news coming through, bang, all of a sudden, very unexpectedly out of nowhere, that bang, you've cut that obstacle out of your life. It's no longer an obstacle, that you're on the other side of that now. And, it's kind of a shock to the system. You've been slugging away up this mountain for so long that it is kind of a bit of a shock to the system, Virgo, to have this suddenly gone, and to have that big change. All of a sudden you're dealing with this change of like, oh, wow, what's on the other side of this mountain? This is uncharted territory. So it's working out, how do we go from here? Where do we go from here? I feel as though for a lot of you, it is going to be very clear to you exactly where to go from here after this week. You're finding a lot of strength in knowing that you can work your way through any obstacle that is put on your path. And sometimes, good news will come out of nowhere and change that on its head and flip you right up to the other side of that, so that it's no longer an obstacle for you. All right, so don't be surprised though, because sometimes that scythe comes through in a way that at first seems like sudden, out of nowhere, very shocking. Sometimes it can be things being cut out of your life, or things ending in your life, and you're like, what? That's, it's a shock to the system. So I'm kind of getting that for some of you. Don't be scared if something ends suddenly or is cut out of your life very, very quickly, that initially you may not want that to be gone, but you're very quickly going to see your way clear from that and realize that that's kind of the solution to all your problems. So it's very interesting there, Virgo. But I feel like this time next week, you will have a totally different mindset on what the blockages are for you. They're going to probably look very, very different for you. All right, so that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll move on to Libra. Libra, what's going on for our Libras? strengthening and empowering Libra energy this week. Whoa, okay. Libra, strengthening and empowering our Libras this week, please. I'll just grab that one that flew out. Oh. Okay, so that was the garden that kind of flew its way across there, which is very well supported here with what I'm seeing, because we do also have the dog and then the child coming out. So we are seeing that there's a strong emphasis on other people for you this week, Libra, really helping strengthen and empower you. We see social groups, we see meeting up with friends, we see getting out and about in public, spending time out in public, whether it be the local park, or wherever. Those sorts of, public relationships, acquaintance relationships, relationships with strangers, meeting people out of the house, definitely a lot of outside of the house energy this week for you, Libra, to really empower you. We do have the card of friendship coming through, so we do, that could also be business meetings as well. I do feel the need to mention for some of you, but we do see friendship there as well as children. So I do feel for a lot of you that's talking about actual children. I'm hearing children like laughing and playing at like a playground. So, once again, supporting that garden energy where you may be quite literally just, going for a walk through your local parks, listening to the sound of children playing. You've got a good friend beside you. You're talking catch up with, but it's really strengthening and empowering you and pushing you forward this week. It's very good for you to be surrounded by friends and loyalty and, that support network, especially, if you do already have children, the support network of, other mums, other children, other parents, or whatever that is for you. That support network is very prominent for you this week as empowering your energy. So definitely needing some social juice to be filled up this week for yourself, Libra. It's really pushing you on forward. So that's pretty simple message for you there, but it really will help strengthen your energy to spend time with good friends and kids, and out in public, in the park, at the beach, wherever that is for you. Public libraries, all those sorts of places. Really pushing your energy forward this week. Okay, so that's what we have for you. More than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll move on to our Scorpios. Okay, Scorpio, what's going on for our Scorpios this week? Strengthening and empowering our Scorpios this week. Interesting. We see movement of some description here with the ship. I do feel, I've had this come out for somebody else this week, but I feel like this is less reality movement for you here, Scorpio. This is more closing the distance between yourself and somebody else coming through this week. Covering the distance, closing the distance, traveling towards somebody, planning to start a journey with somebody or change the journey in some kind of a way. It's a bit of an adventure. It's a very adventurous kind of energy where, this is all just part of the adventure. I do feel as though for a lot of you, you are, because it does feel like some sort of reconnection in some kind of way here. It does feel like closing a distance rather than distancing yourself. It feels like closing a distance with somebody here. We do have the somebody here is the feminine energy. All right. So it does feel like somebody outside of yourself, although generally I would read, the energy as feminine energy, and but we're seeing a double feminine energy, I feel, coming through here. So regardless of gender, okay, so I do feel as though this is somebody outside of yourself, this feminine energy, somebody who you perceive as emotional, and feminine in some kind of a way. I'm also getting they may like to wear red and black. I'm seeing that red and black dress, and it is sort of standing out to me that this person may sort of wear a lot of red and black kind of thing. They may have black hair as well. So I am picking that up, but it's a strong feminine energy. They're a nurturing kind of energy, and nurturing in the sense of like a healing kind of energy, I feel, for a lot of you here. And you're just sort of, reconnecting or wanting to close the distance with this person a little bit this week. We do have the letter here as well, the card of communication. So somehow this will help strengthen and empower you to, close the distance between this feminine person, like between yourself and this person, by communicating clearly, openly, honestly. Doesn't matter whether it's, text, email, in person, phone calls, whatever. It's just communicating clearly. Can I just get some more info for Scorpio, please? How will Scorpio know who the feminine energy is? How will Scorpio know who the feminine is? It's actually getting two there. And what is this communication in regard to for Scorpio, and why is this strengthening? How does, I'm not sure of my wording, but clarify the letter for Scorpio, please. Okay, so this kind of does show me, and then on the bottom of the deck, we have the heart. So for some of you, this definitely could be some sort of love interest that you see as, emotional, nurturing, healing kind of person. How you will know who this is we have the lily. I'm hearing the phrase, they're long-term. They're a long-term person. They're not a short-term person. They're a long-term person. They with the lily, they've probably shown you a lot of kindness in the past, a lot of empathy, a lot of kindness has been shown to you. A lot of, a lot of emotional vulnerability coming through with this person as well. We also have the key. So, I do want to say with that, and what I'm seeing here in regard to the letter, I do want to say that this person probably feels like a lost opportunity at this point, but there is an opportunity. It feels like this person is some sort of an opportunity. It feels like this person, has, they maybe have offered you an opportunity, a longer term opportunity. They've opened their heart to you in some kind of a way, or you feel safe to open your heart to this person. We're seeing a lot of emotions, a lot of being able to be emotional with this person, a lot of safety in the emotional stuff that that they'll put that under lock and key coming through there as well. Clarifying that letter card, we do have the mice. Okay, so this person probably stresses you out a little bit here. There's probably been some, it's kind of eating away at you, the way that something has happened in the past with this person. It probably eats away at you a little bit, eats away your energy, kind of stress you out a little bit. Make it sort of, that's where you're feeling, a loss, or something, an opportunity was taken from you with something that's happened in the past with this person as well. And so that's why that communication needs to happen with this person, to sort of clear that out of your energy, to maybe find closure for some of you. But they do seem to be offering a lot of potential future energy to you here, Scorpio. So it's rather interesting that we need to clear the loss and clear the stress out of this situation. I feel like that's what the communication's really doing, is, stopping this from eating away at us. Like, it's just kind of that energy of like, oh, someone said something that it just bugs us and it just eats away at me. Like, what did they mean? what did they mean? Why did they say that? And so maybe you're just wanting some clarity, or vice versa. You know, but for some of you, it definitely could be a love thing as well. But there's a lot of strength. You know, keeping in mind, we are asking what strengthens and empowers you this week. And I do feel as though this person strengthens and empowers you because they do, you know, have long-term opportunity on offer for you here, that's surrounded by empathy and kindness and, you know, open, vulnerable emotion there, nurturing, healing emotions. So, you know, it's all positive emotion and energy there. So they do have a lot to offer you. So there's obviously a reason that that's coming through as your strength and empowerment this week. All right, but that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius, what's going on for our Sagittarians this week? What is strengthening and empowering Sagittarius this week? Woo, my goodness. That one really wanted to come on out. Ooh, I like that. The money card for you here, Sagittarius. We have the fish coming through, which is talking about abundance, financial abundance specifically. I do feel this is specifically an opportunity for financial abundance, for an increase in your wealth is happening for you this week. We do also have the feminine coming through here, as well as the key. So that key is really an opportunity. It's an opportunity for success, to create more abundance, more wealth for yourself here, Sagittarius. I do feel as though for a lot of you, this is directly connected to a woman. I don't normally read the gender. So maybe some of you, though, are feminine yourself. All right, so you're maybe creating this opportunity for yourself in some kind of a way here. Others of you, this is like a female, like a boss type figure, who is, you know, offering you something this week that actually gives you more money. It's kind of like a promotional, like getting a promotion. It's kind of like being offered a raise. It's kind of like a new opportunity to step into a new role that is you know, financial increase, or more hours that suit you better, that equals financial increase. It may be some sort of, I'm hearing the phrase, it's a new package, like it's some sort of package that's being offered to you that once again results in further abundance for you, financial advantage for you in some kind of way. So really pay attention to any opportunities that do come your way this week, because they all seem to equal financial abundance and opportunity in your financial sector this week. Okay, so if you want to keep those finances going forwards and move towards wealth, you know, really pay attention to the opportunities that are open to you at the moment, because they are all going to be successful as long as you know, have the courage to walk through those doors. Pretty short and sweet, can't complain with that. That's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to subscribe, leave a comment, and we will move on over to our Capricorns. Capricorn, what is going on for our Capricorns this week? Strengthening and empowering our Capricorns this week. Message for Capricorn to strengthen and empower. Interesting. You've got the power. I don't know what that means. Can I just clarify, just one card to clarify what this is about for Capricorn, please? But are we, That's not answering that, please. Can we... Sorry, I'm just trying to be a bit more specific with the way I'm asking the universe here. Apparently, I'm not being specific enough. Clarify the first card for Capricorn. Is that to break? The first card I have here for Capricorn is the ring. So I'm just wanting to clarify if this is in regard to a relationship for Capricorn, or if this is breaking some sort of pattern or cycle for Capricorn. Are we referring to a pattern or cycle or relationship, or are we breaking that? Clarify for Capricorn, please. Oh, okay. So it could be both. The universe is being very not wanting to give too much info here, Capricorn, not going to lie. Because I am hearing you've got the power. So it's kind of like you've got the power to make it whatever you want it to be here, Capricorn. We do have the ring, like I said. So that is clarified by the cross. So it's like having faith in this being whatever you want it to be. So if you want this to be about a relationship, it's about a relationship. If you want this to be about paying attention to a cycle or a pattern in your life, that's what it's going to be about. If you want this to be about breaking a pattern or a cycle in your life, then, you know, have faith that that's what this is about. It's wanting you to notice too, though, that whatever, you know, regardless of whether this is a relationship or a pattern that's breaking, it wants you to be aware of the fact that it is a pattern. It is part of a cycle that you have been in, and know, you know, so it wants you to just pay awareness a little bit more to the cycle, to the pattern that has been created here, because, you know, as soon as we have that awareness, we can sort of be a little bit more aware of whether that does need to break, or whether we're happy with the way that the pattern is set. So it's a little bit of awareness coming through to ourselves this week in regard to that, but also to understand that that's part of our destiny, that this is a very destined pattern within our life, that this has kind of been set. You know, we do see the ring here set in stone. This has been set in stone. It's kind of like a soul contract that you signed up for this before you were even born into this world. And so whether this was a relationship or a pattern that you're sticking to here, you signed up for this well and truly a long time before you even knew this. And so it's understanding the spiritual layer that does exist alongside this, and seeing this as for what it is this pattern. All right. But it's evolving. It's evolving, and you have the power here. You have the power. We have the tower. You have the power of the tower. Okay. You kind of are the tower a little bit here, Capricorn, where, you know, you're the boss. You're the authority on this. You're the one that chooses what this is. You choose whether you need to isolate yourself from this pattern, or whether you are stuck in this pattern, or whether you choose to break this pattern. Is this something that, because that's followed by the anchor. Okay, so the anchor can go a couple of different ways as well, right? So the anchor can hold us back and keep us stuck, but also the anchor can be something that we can rely on, depend on. So is this pattern, is this cycle something that you can rely on, depend on? You know that, okay, I'm up to here in the cycle. I know I'm going to get back around to this point at some point. Or am I stuck in this cycle? It's up to you to decide that. With this cross here, this is kind of your burden to carry, Capricorn. It's part of your soul. You put this in the soul contracts. So it's kind of your responsibility to decide whether this is something that's going to keep you stuck, and you're stuck in that loop, or is this a pattern that I can rely on and depend on, and that actually helps me feel secure? It's up to you to decide, really, here, Capricorn. And with that tower, you are the authority here. You are the grand poobah on who decides what this is for you. You alone can decide what this means to you. Advice. Sorry, Capricorn. My cards do not want to shuffle. They don't want to talk to you. I'm sorry, Capricorn. They don't actually want to talk to you today. Advice for Capricorn, please. Advice for Capricorn to strengthen and empower. So, you know, when we're seeing the tower and the anchor here, if nothing else, Capricorn, strengthening and empowering yourself through the relationship you have within your own self, because you are the power. You already have the power. So if that's what you're using to strengthen and empower yourself, your own authority, you know, your own sense of, look, I'm this tall, giant skyscraper, you know, standing miles above everyone else here. Use that to your advantage this week, because you really are the powerhouse behind this all at the moment, Capricorn. But advice for Capricorn, it's kind of like, if you believe it, it will come. Whatever you believe, Capricorn. For some of you, it definitely could be love connection here with that, the ring, and then the love on the bottom of the deck. We do see the lily. So, no, sorry, that's not the lilies. That's the flowers. So as you can tell, lilies are a flower. I was just like, my brain was like, hang on, no, I've already seen the lilies and they're white in this deck. This is the flowers, okay? Followed by the tree. Giving your time and your love and your energy to yourself, Capricorn. We do see a lot of paying attention to oneself this week for you. Your own healing, your own wisdom, listening to your own wisdom, receiving from your own growth, healing, wisdom. You know, it's kind of like a loop in that sense, as well, as where, you know, the flowers want to give and give and give. They also want to receive and receive. But then with the tree, you're giving to self, you're receiving from self. For some of you here, I am picking up strong links here to ancestral, you know, your family tree is coming through here. So spirit guides are definitely coming through for you this week. So definitely talking to your spirit guides this week, especially ancestral spirit guides this week. You know, your family tree, giving your time, your love, your attention to your family tree, and your greatest, you know, your greatest sense of wisdom and maturity. You know, your self-healing, your self-love, all those sorts of things, giving and receiving, all of those things this week is your advice to really focus on oneself, and you know, kind of like this tree image here. The more that you're giving back to the trunk, the taller it can grow. You know, trees. You are a tree this week, Capricorn. You know, giving to yourself. You know, giving all those nutrients back into yourself so that you can grow big and tall and even stronger. But like, look at you, you're already big and tall and strong. So you really are the authority this week, Capricorn. You've got a lot of strength. So, you know, that self-healing and that self-care means paying attention to the fact that you do already have that all within you. So I know that that's a little bit, doesn't want to talk to us today, Capricorn. Not going to lie, but you are more than welcome to check out your other placements and see, you know, what impact that puts onto that perspective there. But you're more than welcome to check them out and have a look. But subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. I hope you guys are going to be a little bit more straightforward for me. Okay, cool. Thank you. Aquarius, what does Aquarius need to know this week? Strengthening and empowering our Aquarius energy this week, please. Ooh, interesting. I'll just get that card that has flown out. Oh, that was the heart that flew on out. Showing me some love, Aquarius. I like it. Thank you. Yes, because right as that card flew out, I said, Aquarius, I hope you're going to be a little bit more straightforward for me this week. And yep, thank you. So we're just going to leave that there. For some of you, this reading may have an impact to do with, you know, love in an unconditional love kind of sense. Some of you may be romantic as well, but, you know, there's a lot of love in the air from you and for you this week, Aquarius. We do have the ring coming through first here. So there's definitely like a relationship at play for a lot of you this week, and really assessing. I feel a lot of you assessing where and what you want from a relationship if you don't already, have a strong one. But ultimately, it really does talk about cycles and patterns and being a little bit more aware of the cycles and patterns that you have in your life right now. Finding a lot of strength from, being able to be aware of those patterns. So it actually strengthens you by your awareness of, oh, I'm stuck in this pattern of XYZ. I'm, strengthen myself, empower myself, know exactly what I expect from relationships, and the relationships around me, whether it be family, friends, romantic. I know exactly what to expect, and they strengthen and empower me, knowing that they follow a certain cycle, I suppose. We have the Child coming through here, so a strong sense of adventure for you this week as well. So it really just shows us that you're being a little bit more lighthearted with relationships this week, and seeing those as an adventure, seeing those as just part of the fun of this life thing. It's not so hard if you just think like a child and think that every relationship has the potential to be amazing and awesome, and you're not allowing the negativity to crowd in and you know dim your glow when it comes to creating and experiencing relationships with others, in relationship with yourself as well. Children are not naturally have issues with self-confidence. That's something that society and the issues that people have with society kind of teach us. So, a child's natural element is to be like, oh, yay, exciting life. Ooh, ooh, everything's brand new and exciting, and it's a chance to learn and explore. So that's kind of what you're doing at the moment with, the way that you're looking at relationships in your life. And we do see the crossroads coming through for you here as well. So this may need to be a conscious decision for you this week as well, to consciously choose to see the lighter side of life this week, and consciously choose to, see relationships as an adventure rather than something that's trying to hold you back or anything like that. Um, you choose the way that you see this stuff and the way that you experience these things, and so your free will has got a lot to say this week, in regard to that, and letting you know that you may have some choices to make. Are you going to continue down the path of negativity, or are you going to choose the lighter side of life and to just enjoy the adventure while you're on it, is what's sort of coming through there, Aquarius. But that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Pisces. Okay, Pisces. Message for Pisces this week. What is strengthening and empowering our Pisces this week? Pause to scratch my nose. Sorry, Pisces. Strengthening and empowering our Pisces this week. I feel like that's relevant. Some of you may need to just take a pause this week. Highly likely, because there's a lot of stuff kind of happening really quickly for you this week. We have the Scythe coming through first, followed by the Rider, which both of those are super quick energies. We also have the Feminine there as well. So it does appear that there is a female on the way with good news that actually brings about some very sudden, out of nowhere changes for you this week. Things happening very, very quickly for you this week, out of nowhere kind of energy. For some of you, you may need to cut something out of your life, and then I'm just picking up on that for some of you. Just clarify, what does Pisces need to cut out of their life this week, please? Overthinking. All right, so it's cutting through the negativity. It's cutting through the negative self-thought, cutting through the overthinking and in your own judgment being very clouded. It feels like somebody coming through to give you clarity, to point things out to you, give you a perspective shift in a different kind of way. That's the good news that's on the way, is Pisces, you don't need to think like that anymore. Bang, think like this, and bang, 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 everything sort of falls into place after that. It's very, very quick energy, very, very quick energy this week, Pisces. Anything else to clarify this good news for Pisces this week, please? Destiny is on your side. Have faith that this is all happening for the right reasons. Have faith that this is going to work out how you need it to. Not necessarily how you want it to, but how you need it to. We have the cross there as well. Innate, like using your sense of spirituality to get you through. Having faith in yourself, having faith that everything happens for a reason, and that, I've been overthinking things and that needs to change. And here, bang, 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 it is. All right, so a lot of really quick things. It's happening really quick. I can't even keep up with the messages at the moment, Pisces. I just keep getting, like, I can't even hear what the messages are right now, because they're just being, blasted so quickly. So you may have quite a few different things going on, but everything's just sort of happening really quickly this week, just sort of out of nowhere. Some of this stuff just bang, 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 all of a sudden, and it's like big plot twists happening in your life that it really kind of brings you out of your head, brings you out of your funk, and it's just important to remind yourself to stay positive and just trust that, the universe is working its magic for you this week. Definitely changing some stuff for you. We do see a lot of stuff happening, but a very emotional, nurturing energy coming through, helping change those things as well. So that's always a positive as well. All right, so that's what we have for you. You are more than welcome to check your other placements that may help shine a little bit of light on that message for you. But that's what we have, and we will see you all again soon.